What up, what up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mo.J. We are locked in. This is episode 5 of Cruel Summer. Now, there's a lot of theories going around online. People hit me up, Mo, what you think about this? And I'm like, man, 1 minute I could believe Kate, but then I'm like, nah, Jeanette's telling the truth. And then last week we seen Kate chilling with Martin. So there's some kind of relationship going on between these two. And that might be how Martin got that close to her. But before we get into all that, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel, you want to be a part of this, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit the like button. But this week we get to see a little more because we got to get the whole story. That's the only way we're going to figure out who's lying and who's telling the truth. But I will tell you guys this. I don't trust Mallory. Mallory is the #1 suspect and the #1 person I don't trust on this. But let's get into it. Cruel Summer, episode 5. The events that are about to unfold take place on approximately July 29th, 1993, 1994, 1995. Now, I try to keep it in order for you. 93, what is it? Jeanette, braces, glasses. 94, long hair. 95, short hair, and it's all dark. So I'm going to let you guys know what years we're in. This is 93. The girls are getting ready. You know you got to floss. Floss, people. Don't just brush. Floss, but we getting ready for the fair because everybody goes to the fair. 94, Jeanette, she ain't got the braces no more. Throws the rubber bands away that you got to put on your braces to keep that overbite from going. So she's looking in the mirror like, damn, I look good. We about to head to the fair. But it ain't the same for Kate. We know Kate just got released and it's her first fair after being locked up for so long. So she's looking at her like, man, I don't want to go, but I need to get up out this house. 95, dark Jeanette. She gets out the shower and Derek's like, hey man, you used all the hot water. She's like, I don't give a damn. Sue me. I told y'all, short hair Jeanette, that's a bad girl right there. You see it's all dark, so this is 95 and Kate's actually listening to her recordings with her therapist. She's like, do you have any memories of Martin? And she's writing down Annabelle. Now, we still don't know who exactly Annabelle is. My theory is Annabelle is like her alter ego that she used to put on to get through being locked up. It's like, okay, I'm Annabelle. I really don't care right now. This is what's going to help me through all this trauma. We know at this point, Jeanette's trying to sue for defamation of character. But her lawyer keeps telling her, we need you to be more relatable. We need to get people on your side that can vouch for you. We need these character statements to say that, oh, Jeanette is good, man. She wouldn't do anything like that. If she seen Kate down there, she would help her out. But we know dark Jeanette, she's in her own world. She done dealt with all of the slander from people. Everybody's been, quote unquote, bullying her. So she's like, oh, okay, here we go with this nonsense. Now, if you remember, Vince actually went over there and spoke with the lawyer and said, no, I trust and believe what Jeanette is saying. Because remember, he covered for Jeanette because Jeanette also knows that he's gay. But regardless of that, he held it down and said, yeah, I believe Jeanette. Now, the lawyer asked about Mallory. And I told y'all in the introduction, I don't believe Mallory. And even Jeanette said, no, I don't want her. She is not with us. Back in 93. Now, I told you they were getting ready for the fair, flossing and everything. Now, the crew, they have the list of things they need to do during the summer. So one of the things on the list is Jeanette gets her first date with a guy named Gideon. Now, they're going to the fair. This fair is only allowed for high schoolers and chaperones. So the people, I won't say the people, the crew, Mallory and Vince are like, all right, look, this is the list. You can't chicken out because we got a list for the summer. And Jeanette, we know at this stage in her life, she's really not that social outside of her crew. So she's like, I don't know if this is the best first date. You guys got to go on a double date. Why I got to do it by myself? And they're like, Jeanette, you're going on this date. We get to Trader's Village, and I'm talking about they got that country music playing there. Y'all know me, I can't really dance or anything, and I really ain't no fan of country music, but they got that guitar playing. I can just see me line dancing. But we get here, and it's Jamie and Kate, and they pull up together, and they have a lot to discuss. They start talking. And this is right before the fair. Now we get to the fair. I'm trying to have a good time, some funnel cake, you know what I'm saying, ride some rides. But it starts getting serious. And Kate also brings up, yeah, you probably got a lot of chores from punching your ex-girlfriend. Now we know how Jamie is. Jamie jumps from side to side. He's with Kate. Kate gets kidnapped. He goes to Jeanette. Kate gets free. He goes back. He punches Jeanette. Hey, it doesn't matter. But Kate says, if you love me, then what is it with Jamie? He's like, oh, nothing. I ain't did nothing with her. But we all know Kate followed Jamie. Now, what Jamie tries to do is tries to flip it. Well, remember, you were locked up, so you went through a lot of trauma. Maybe you didn't see what you seen. Maybe I didn't kiss Jeanette. But we know he's lying. He's just trying to get his way out of here, finagle his way, but he can't. And Kate's like, oh no, I'm not trying to hear that. I know what it is. I know what I saw. This is 94. Jeanette and Derek, they pull up. Now we know the brother and sister connection that they have is very close. But Jeanette, she's on some other stuff. So she's supposed to be in the dunk tank, you know, where they throw the ball and you fall in it. But she's worried about, is Kate going to be here? Is Jamie going to be here? Because she still wants to talk to Jamie, but she wants to try to squash whatever it is between Kate and her brother. Derek is like, this is silly. You shouldn't be doing this. They're together. You just leave that alone, especially with everything that's going on and you being accused of seeing her and not, you know, and not helping out. But Jeanette, she's just eager to, oh man, nah, I need to do this because I can't just go by Kate's house. And Derek, he just thought he was dropping her off, but it turns out Derek got to hang out with Jeanette. And you know, everybody's already looking at Derek like, hey man, is that your sister, man? Y'all remember he got fired from his job. Oh, look at the original crew. Kate, Jamie, and Ben, they pulling up to the fair. Jamie and Ben have some weird broship. Funnel cakes, corn dogs, extend to the Raptors. I'm like, man, what the hell? But they get to the fair. Teenagers gonna be teenagers. We all done some weird stuff in life. But they get there and they're expecting to have a good time because we do this every year. While all this is going on, Kate looks up and she sees her mom with Scott. Now we know that she's having an affair with Scott, and guess who comes over? Rod, the dad. So Kate's trying to tell Jamie, hey, look, do you see something going on with my parents? It doesn't look right. And they're like, yeah, they're just chaperones. But no one's actually seen Joy and Scott kissing except for Kate. But Kate doesn't want to say anything because you remember she almost brought up the allegations of her stepfather, Rod, for cheating. But it wasn't him. It's actually her mom. And we know that her stepsister said, yeah, your mom's a gold digger. Now we get to connect the dots. We seen the stepsister was the one actually writing Kate in the chat room. So now we see Kate responding to her because the sister wants to figure out what's going on. Kate says, I'm bugging about this liar letter. Like, who sent it? Now the sister says, well, cum bono, which pretty much means in Spanish, who benefits from sending it? Now Kate thinks that is Jeanette, the psycho B from hell. That was my first suspect. Now the sister's trying to say you should go ahead and go with your gut instinct. But me personally, I think the letter was sent from the sister because she's been in this chat room and she actually knows the truth about what Kate's saying because Kate thinks this is a random person that she's talking to. That's just one of my theories. This is 95. You see the dark atmosphere, but Kate and Mallory have became so much of friends. Mallory doesn't even use the front door. She just climbs through the window. Now, this is in Texas. This is a different time. I know where I grew up in the city. It ain't no climbing through the window. That's a very dangerous thing. You don't ever do that. But Kate is like, hey, let's go down to the fair because there's somebody that I need to confront. And Mallory's like, nah, let's not do that. You know, it's all mediocre people there. But Kate wants to actually talk face to face with Jeanette. They both got a lot to get off their chest, and really that's all they really need is a conversation. But there's a lawsuit going on, and legally they shouldn't be talking to each other. We finally get to see Gideon. Now this guy Gideon, he looks like a kid that's just academic focused. He doesn't really have too many friends, socially awkward. George is trying to talk to him about football and see if he can relate to him or anything. Ask him about the Cowboys. Kid knows nothing about it, and they live in the great state of Texas. Sydney took a different approach. She's just like, hey, I'm just happy somebody's, interested in our daughter because we know that Sydney actually was the popular one in school. So for her, she's looking at her daughter like, okay, this is your coming of age. Jeanette's sitting here and she's just kind of like, I don't know. And if you can look, she has on some sandals with some socks, but oh, who cares? Let's head to the fair. You kids be safe out there. Fast forward to 95, Jeanette comes in the kitchen and George is in there. Now, everyone's wondering where Sydney, the wife, is. We don't really know, but we do know George has a girlfriend at this point that works at the bar. But Jeanette comes in and she's asking, hey, Dad, do you believe me and are you still on my side? And what George says, as any dad would, yeah, I trust you. I believe everything you said. When it comes down to me answering, what do I think about Jeanette? Oh, she's loving. She wouldn't hurt anybody. She wouldn't hurt a fly. She's trustworthy as far as I know. And now he says that between them two saying, at this point, Jeanette, I don't know what to believe for me personally. But on the outside, I'm going to tell everybody I trust you and I believe you because you're my daughter until I figure out what's really going on. The reason she brought Derek along to confront Kate is because she's saying Kate, all those theories and things, events that she thinks she saw, they didn't happen. I wasn't there. I didn't see nothing. But she brought Derek as a witness because she needs to have people on her side to believe this. And if anything happens, at least Derek is here so Jamie won't catch her with another one of these. And Jamie, we know how he is. He's going to deny everything. But Derek being there, that'll kind of, straighten him up. During the first day, Gideon and Jeanette, they get on a little, I won't call it a Ferris wheel, I don't know what it's called, but they get on there. And like I said, this kid, he's socially awkward. His grandma's just happy that he found friends. So he's on here and she's like, yeah, Mallory and Vince, those are my friends. They're dope. He's like, dope? Pretty much, he doesn't know what dope means. It's like, yeah, they're cool. Those are my friends. So for him, he's like, okay, so I met somebody that has friends. In his head, he's probably thinking, well, I guess they'll be my friends. Maybe me and Vince can be real close friends. Now I got me a male friend and 2 female friends. For Gideon being who he is, he looks at Jeanette and he's like, oh, okay, Mallory and Vincent, your friend, you must be pretty popular. She's like, nah, the most popular girl is Kate. He's like, oh, you know her? He's like, yeah, I know her. Jeanette's like, yeah, I know her. Well, I'm getting in cool with their crew. Oh, and that over there, that's Jamie. He's the big man on campus. So now Gideon's getting the hang of it. He's like, oh, okay, now that's dope. You know what I'm saying? You know the popular people and I know you. Dope. Kate has been released. This is 94, the first day at the fair. Her parents, everyone was questioning her. Hey, how are you guys feeling? What do you guys think about Kate being released? You guys are here. We also see Kate, the paparazzi over there flashing pictures of her. And Jamie's like, hey, man, cut it out. Because this is the biggest story in the town. Everybody wants to know what's going on and how are you guys out and about after this tragic event has happened. I got a little ahead of myself, but Jamie comes over there. He saves Kate from the little paparazzi. It was just one dude. I won't say it's paparazzi. It was just a random guy with a camera. Hey, Kate over here. But he's telling her, I'm so sorry. I felt bad for Jeanette, but I didn't kiss her. Your memory's all messed up. You didn't really see that. But Kate knows what she's seen. And we know Jamie is about Jamie. Jamie's going to protect Jamie at all costs. And Kate's like, what is wrong with you? We know that Jeanette and her father's girlfriend haven't been seen eye to eye, but we know that she did check Jeanette the other week and said, hey, listen, we're going to be in here together. You're going to at least show me some respect. She's not going to put up with all that disrespect that she's doing to George. But she's saying, Jeanette, you need somebody on your side. Now, from what I know, you're a pretty good girl. So I can, an outside person, I could say like, nah. The times I've been around Jeanette, I believe what she's saying. She hasn't lied to me about anything. We actually had a heart-to-heart. So that will work for her in court. Kate and Mallory, they went to the fair because you know what? We about to go ahead and dunk Jeanette. She gonna get up there. I'm a dunker because we need to have this one-on-one finally. But when she gets there, it ain't Jeanette. It's Jamie. And we know Jamie and Kate, they haven't... Jamie, you're a bad guy, man. You've been making Kate... You turned her out to be something that she isn't. So she takes the ball, she dunks him. And he's like, hey. Yeah, Jamie, you deserve that one. We're starting to see the separation between George and Sydney. Now, she's in here drinking and George comes in like, man, what the hell you got going on? Now, George got these busted Adidas on, 3 stripes from who knows when, but you can tell he cuts grass in them. Sydney's in here drunk and she comes up with a little thing and says, hey, you know what happens when you're down on a commercial flight? George is like, what? They move you to an empty seat and normally it's in first class. Imagine being on a plane and you paid all this money and someone gets first class because they died. George is like, there's something wrong with you. I'm going to go ahead and rent us a movie so you can calm down a little bit. But I'm seeing that this whole situation is taking a toll on Sydney. She probably becomes too drunk and George just doesn't want anything to do with it because he already has a lot of stress from what's going on with his daughter. I like how the story is going. We get to finally see how George and his lovely girlfriend meet. Well, George left to go rent some movies for him and Sydney. And he gets to the movie shop. Vince is in there. The lady comes in and says, hey, who owns the vehicle out there? I'm sorry, I accidentally hit it. I could write you a check. I'm new to the area. And George is like, okay, she's kind of cute. She did wreck my truck, but I can make this a business opportunity too. Here's my card, the best realtor in town. And that's all it took. Now she has the number. Hey, this is George. You doing anything this weekend? I'd like to show you a few properties. Easy. He's in the doorway. Kate's old friends, you know, the ones that jumped ship and became friends with with Jeanette, or with Kate, I don't know. Kate's old friends, the ones that became friends with Jeanette, they're on the news. Yeah, man, I seen Jeanette buying some black hair dye. And they're just pretty much gossiping, trying to get a little 15 minutes of fame. But behind them, it's a fun house. Now, the reason Kate's looking at this is because something happened in the past. We know Jeanette has been trying to talk to Kate. Now, this is 94. That was just 95 we seen. Jeanette sees her, and out of nowhere, Mallory comes over and is like, hey, let's go in there. We can lose her in the fun house. Now, we know in that fun house, you're going to see some things that you didn't really see, or maybe you did see and you can't remember. But it's the fun house. And these teenagers thought that they could go in a fun house and lose somebody. All I have to do is go wait by the exit. You got to come out. Derek is the only sensible one. He says, hey, Jeanette, I can't be seen chasing Kate Wallis through a fun house. Now, mind you, this guy, he's older than all of them. He's out of school now. But Jeanette said, I have to do it. Like, just talk to her on the regular. We know when we go in there, we're about to see some stuff we don't want to see, people. Well, I tell you, you get in the fun house, who does she see? None else than Martin. And she's just panicking now. Oh my God. Everybody else is just running around trying to find where they going. And you hear Jeanette, Kate, is that you? Kate? Kate ran off and scared herself. Why would you go in this fun house? Why? Why, Kate? Now I can't believe your story is because you, right here, I usually don't even come over to the screen, but you, of all people, you ran in here. We can't believe you. And look at Martin's creepy self back there. Once Jeanette gets out, Derek is trying to tell her, we just got to get this up. Now, I'm doing this out of order, but this is just how I feel comfortable saying it. What Derek is trying to tell her is, regardless of what's going on, you're my sister, and I believe you. But unfortunately, the Wallaces, they're the most powerful people here, and they're going to win no matter what, whether they're right or wrong. People are going to believe them. You need to just give this up, and we need to just go on about our lives. Back in 95, now we remember they were looking at the fun house. Mallory's like, okay, let's get away from here, because she probably told her about that experience. But Kay says, no, let me listen to one thing. Now, she's been carrying around this Walkman. And you know those big Walkmans? It's a tape cassette, so you know it's 4 AA batteries. And you got the little fake foamy headphones, terrible sound. But she starts listening to a session with a therapist. And the session talks about what happened that night with Martin, the assistant principal. And he was running a little game over there, raising money for the school. Martin is running this little water booth where you spray the little circle and the machine goes up. And it's Gideon versus Jeanette. Now, when Jeanette first gets there, she almost exposes herself. We know that she stole the yearbook. So she says, hey, Martin, you're from Willow Glen, right? And Martin's like, how'd you know that? She's like, oh, maybe my dad told me. So she almost caught herself up. But they're playing the game. And, you know, Gideon, he's like, man, shoot, I got a girl on my arm, man. We out here, we getting it. And this is something that he would do on his own. You can see him up here playing by himself. You know, you see those awkward kids. They just having the time of their life. But at least this time he has a girl with him. Look at Gideon in the back. He ends up winning the game, so he dancing and stuff. I win, I win, I win. And then we got the two knucklehead friends. They come over here. Peer pressure is a mother. Now, these two friends, the ones that Jeanette becomes friends with, you know, Kate's original friends, and in 95, they become Jeanette's friends. They see her and like, what is this, your little boyfriend? And Jeanette's like, oh, no, he was just playing a game. I don't have anything to do with this. And she storms off. People, don't be embarrassed about who you hang with. If you hang with somebody because you like being around them, then you hang with them. Who cares? I got some weird homeboys, but somebody clown them, hey, then I'm going to get on your ass. Now, this is good. George's girlfriend and Jeanette, they're getting closer because she says she wants to be on her side and help her out. And this is one thing because she's showing loyalty to her father. Like, her and George have a relationship, so she's like, if he believes his daughter, I believe the daughter. Now, Jeanette's sitting there and she's just asking, what do you see in my dad? And she tells her, I see, you know, he's a good person. He's trying to make the best of every situation. He's not going to do anything wrong. Now, one thing about Jeanette, what she says is, I try to see that and see what the old person he is. But the girlfriend makes a valid point. Don't look back at what somebody is, because that's a recipe for disaster. That's going to give you false hope and false sense of what they really are, because people grow. So what they may have been then, they're different now because they either grew. And that's what she's trying to say. But to relieve some of this little tension and all the stress that's going on, they have a karaoke machine. And she's like, Jeanette, you want to get on it? I'll go first. After leaving the crazy house, Kate actually runs into Jamie. Now, Jamie's outside drinking. He bet a 6-pack that he wouldn't do some wild stuff. But hey, it's young kids. They gonna do whatever they can. And hey, free beer, who passing that up? So he's stumbling and stuff. And Kate's just looking at him. She's explaining to him, I don't really know what's going on, But I will say this, and it's probably the liquor. They always say that the liquor is who you really are. Jamie tells Kate, this whole time you were right. I'm sorry. Last year I was kissing Jeanette. And for Kate, she's looking at it like, okay, this is what I actually need. Start closing chapters. I'm free now. Now, whatever I got with you, Jamie, this is probably going to be the end of her and Jamie even communicating. But at least Jamie finally admitted that he was wrong and he was lying. Now, here's where things start getting creepy. Kate actually walks over to Martin and they're talking. Now, we know that he's picked her up and took her home because she was drunk and stuff. Now they're just having this, I don't know why and how. There's an adult just talking to kids, like, come on, man, especially male and female. I can't explain to people. Now, along with that, she ends up playing, she wins a prize. Now, she was playing by herself, so there's really no reason to give her the big prize. But Martin, being the creep that he is, he does. And not only does he give her the gift, he comes around. Now, this is where it's really disgusting. They start talking and she's saying, oh, well, I'm sorry about my first impression of you. My first impression that I gave to you when I was drunk and stuff. He's like, oh, don't worry about that. That wasn't my first impression. The first time that I seen you and really, took that as the first impression of you was at that little thing at the house, a little reception and stuff. And I seen you was talking to the parents and stuff. So this is already crossed the line. One, you're an adult. There's an age difference. Secondly, you're the principal. You shouldn't even be conversating with the kids outside of work, or not work, but school and any school activities. But now they get to flirting a little bit, and I can't put it all on Martin. I say I can't put it all on Martin because the daughter, Kate, starts, oh, well, you thought I was one of the adults there? Why didn't you say hi? People, please teach your daughters to stay away from men like this. Now, she's a kid, so Martin, you have to take 99.999% of the blame here. And he's talking about, hey, she said, I'll see you again. He's like, oh, I'll be waiting for that. I really don't like talking about anything like this because this is really disgusting. But damn, Martin, and damn, Kate, you too, both of y'all. Jeanette and the crew, they're walking by. And then they see Martin over there. Now, you remember, Jeanette, she left Gideon at the thing playing by herself. So Martin is trying to tell her, hey, you don't need to apologize to me for running off. You need to apologize to Gideon because, he was there for you. You was actually having him open up, but you stormed off and left him by herself. So she's like, okay. And then she sees that Kate left her hair scrunchie there, and Martin has it in his hands. Now, when she left it, he was going to give it back to her, but we know he's a creep, so he kept it. Now, Jeanette sees it, and she's like, hey, what is that? He's like, oh, it's Kate's scrunchie. Oh, well, I'll see her before school. I'll give it back to her. Martin has to give this up because he doesn't want it to seem like he had a personal conversation with Kate to the point where he has her scrunchie and still holding on. Because if anything, you just throw it away. You know what I'm saying? But he ends up giving it to Jeanette. And this is gonna be interesting how it plays out next week when we see what she does with this scrunchie. So I wake up in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high and I scream, what's going on? I'm talking about they in here jamming out. Whew, they should have gave me a microphone so I can get in there with them. The song actually hits Jeanette. The what's going on? She wants to know what's going on. And she starts having a panic attack. And the girlfriend's like, hey, listen. You built a force field around you. You got to come out of that. And I always say you got to be able to talk through something. If you don't talk about it, you let it build up, you're just going to snap and you're going to pop at some moment. So you have to be able to talk to somebody. Now, we've seen how Kate's getting through hers with therapy. Jeanette needs someone to talk to. Now, I think the girlfriend's going to be the one that she actually opens up to. Because Derek, he listens, but he doesn't really give any sound advice. Here we have two different sides of the scale. We have Jeanette over here with the scrunchie, talking about practicing in the mirror to, hey, Kate, here's your scrunchie. Oh, hanging out, that'd be dope. And then on the other hand, we got Kate in the mirror with the bunny fantasizing about old ass Martin. This is going to be some but we going to figure this out though. Now we fast forward to 95. Kate still has that bunny. But what she does, she goes with Mallory and they go into the grave site and they go to where Martin is buried. They dig a hole and they put the bunny in there and they bury it. Now, I'm not one to call the police, but defacing a tombstone or digging up a body, that is illegal. It's a misdemeanor, especially in the state of Texas. Y'all going to jail. But she had to do this to close the door on Martin. You remember how Jeanette was practicing how to talk to Kate? Now Kate's practicing how to talk to Martin and says, well, you look too young to be an assistant principal. Oh, so these two did have a relationship. That's why it was so easy for her to get kidnapped. It keeps getting excited and excited and exciting. We're piecing things together. People, let me know what you think about this relationship that may potentially be there between Martin and Kate. Let me know. Let me know what y'all think. But hey, thanks for watching. I'm J. Y'all make sure y'all here for episode 6 next week. Because though no one break down Cruel Summer like you and I do, hit me up in the comments. Anything you got to ask. You know I try to reply to everybody. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. We're on the road to 6,000 subscribers. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.